So we have Deputy Chief Craig Nance, who is with the Chicago Police Department, to discuss its mission and work of providing a safe environment for those who live here and learn and work in our community. And then in addition, the interface and coordination with the Chicago Police Department. The discussion will also include some safety tips on and for walking on the sidewalks and streets of Hyde Park. Deputy Chief has served in this position since November of 2018. Prior to that, he served 2 years as Deputy Chief Director of Security for the University Chicago Laboratory School. He completed a Master of Arts degree in Organizational Management, University of Phoenix. In addition, while he was serving in Arkansas, he completed the executive level training as an Arkansas leader, which is a program jointly sponsored by the Criminal Justice Institute and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and has been designated as one of the FBI's 16 command colleges. So we're glad to have him with us. As to questions, we're going to take questions at the end of our time. But if you're like me, I might forget what my question was or is as we're going along. So there's a chat box. If you'll put your question in the chat box, if you want to remember it, and/or we'll take questions at the end. And at the end, I'll monitor the chat box and read off those questions. So Deputy Chief Nance, the platform is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd just like to say hello to everybody. Just to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in law enforcement for about 30 years. I've worked in 5 states. I was a police chief in Louisiana. I was a police chief in Arkansas. And it's just a profession that I've just always drew near to, something that I've just always wanted to do. I love working with people. I love working with the college, I won't say kids, the college adults. And I just, it's just one of those things that just always brought me joy. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a video as in terms of the overview of our services. And let me go ahead and get that up there.
And the University of Chicago Police Department.
Can everybody hear?
Here, we have a full-service police department.
A little louder.
Okay.
And certified by the state of Illinois. Our department is accredited by the Commission of Accreditation Agencies. Also,
We lost the sound.
703-702-8181. Again, 773-702-8181.
University of Chicago's Police Department monitors the Chicago Police Department's radio, so we'll be able to give you service as well. In a non-emergency, you may dial 2 with the extension 8181 from a campus phone, and also you can dial 311. The headquarters of the University Police Department is located at 6054 South Drexel Avenue. That is on the corner of 61st and Drexel. Enter on 61st Street to gain entry. The Department of Safety and Security produces an annual security and fire safety report. That can be found at securityreport.uchicago.edu. The report includes policies and procedures, resources and services, crime statistics, and tips. The UCPD Daily Crime and Fire Log can be found at incidentreports.uchicago.edu. Throughout our campus, we have approximately 380 emergency phones. You can identify the emergency phones by the blue light that is on top. Keep in mind that each emergency phone has a specific address, and an officer will be dispatched to that phone immediately once you activate it by pressing the red button. By pressing the red button on the emergency phone, you will be connected to an emergency dispatcher. This is a 24/7 service provided to connect you with our emergency communication center. Another service ambassadors program. Our trained campus safety ambassadors are assigned to exterior locations throughout the campus. You can easily recognize our ambassadors in their high visibility uniforms, identifying them as members of our campus safety team. They're on post daily from 4:30 p.m. to 8:30 a.m. The campus safety ambassadors provide safety escorts, directions, and campus information, as well as having the ability to contact the University Police Department to request additional services provided by the Department of Safety and Security. The patrol area for the University of Chicago Police Department is very widespread. The patrol area goes as far north as 37th Street, south to 64th Street, east to Lakeshore Drive, and west to Cottage Grove Avenue. On our campus, the University of Chicago Police Department serves as a primary police agency. Off of the campus, however, the City of Chicago serves as the primary police department. In a non-emergency or emergency situation, the University of Chicago Police Department will respond in an extended patrol area to ensure off-campus safety to all affiliates, as well as the charter schools to be provided with the highest quality of service. Additional services provided by the University Police Department and the Department of Safety and Security are Sea Alert and Safety Alerts, Crisis Intervention Teams, Motorist Assistance, Bicycle Registration, our Stop Tag Laptop Program, our Safety Escort Program, our Daytime and Night Ride Shuttles, Safe Zone, our Safety Mobile app, Community Engagement Programs, RAD Self-Defense Program, and our fingerprinting services. Our Sea Alert service is an emergency notification that requires immediate action. University members are automatically enrolled into this service with the information provided by the University Directory. To verify that your information is correct or to register more numbers, go to sealert.uchicago.edu. The university has adopted a policy regarding alert activations and the appropriate method of delivery. Our security alert service has no immediate threat. It is information only. To review the policy, visit uchicago.edu/safety/alerts. Our members of the University Police Department have received Crisis Intervention Training, CIT, and know how to interact, intervene, and de-escalate situations with anyone who may need an evaluation. If you or someone you know needs emergency police assistance due to a mental health related crisis, please contact us at 773-702-8181 and ask for a crisis intervention team trained officer to respond to the situation. Please clearly state the crisis is a mental health issue. A D-on-call liaison will also be contacted to offer additional resources. Our officers, along with our community service officers, will provide motorist assistance. Our university police cars and community service vehicles are equipped with battery boost capabilities for your vehicle in case your vehicle's battery dies. Also, for each shift, there are officers certified as locksmiths. In case you get locked outside of your vehicle, we can also contact roadside services for further assistance. If you have a bicycle or scooter, you can register your bike with the University Police Department by contacting the Community Relations Unit at 773-702-6008. Again, that's 773-702-6008. The benefit of registering your bicycle is that your attached ID sticker will link your information to our database. The University Police will be able to reach out to you directly to return your property. You can also register your laptop the same way you register your bicycle. These registration programs do not serve as a GPS tracker, but they serve as a crime deterrent. When in need of a safety escort, you can contact the University Police Department and have an officer give you a safety escort to your destination. This is a 24/7 service provided in our patrol area that you can request by contacting the University Police Department at our main number. To ensure your safe commute, plan your route out before you leave, and familiarize yourself with your options by visiting bus.uchicago.edu and transitchicago.com. When it is possible, travel with friends, and if you think you're being followed, cross the street. Change direction. Go to a well-lit public place where others are present. If a person demands money or possessions, give them what they demand and create a safe distance. Keep alert and don't let a conversation on a cell phone or the use of headphones make you unaware of your surroundings. Please familiarize yourself and follow all Illinois laws related to bicyclists. Ride with the flow of traffic, wear a helmet, and do not ride on sidewalks. Please walk your bike in areas where there is dense pedestrian traffic. The University of Chicago Police Department provides a safe zone. It is located in our lobby for individuals who pay for goods found online through social media channels. Safe zones also allow custodial exchanges between parents and legal guardians in accordance with their custody agreements. The headquarters lobby is located at 850 East 61st Street. It's available between the hours of 7 a.m. and 10 p.m. If the exchange occurs after 5 p.m., please contact our Emergency Communication Center to be allowed into the building. The Emergency Communication Center can be reached through the University Police Department's main number, 773-702-8181. There's no appointment necessary to do a safe zone exchange. Campus safety at your fingertips. You can go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store to download the U Chicago Safe application. The app has a mobile blue light feature that works exactly like the emergency phones. Once activated, it sends out your location to an officer to give you assistance. There's also the Friend Walk feature. This allows you to give your family member or a friend your starting location, and in live time, they can watch you travel on a map, making sure you reach your destination safely. You can also use the Report a Tip feature. If you do not feel safe at the time or place to report your tip, you can text it in and relay that information to the police department in a safe and discreet way. Also, there's an Emergency Contacts tab where you can store your personal emergency contacts. There are other features to help you during emergencies, such as natural disasters or active threat incidents to keep you safe. The University Police Department has a Community Relations Unit, also known as CREW. CREW helps build and strengthen the relationship between the members of the UChicago community and the University Police Department through education, intervention, and policing initiatives. The Community Relations Unit works to identify and analyze crime hazards in our community and comes up with strategies to minimize them. Last year, the University Police Department partnered with more than 20 community organizations and attended more than 160 community meetings. We worked with 4 area aldermen on programming and strategies to implement in our community. To contact the Community Relations Unit, you can contact them at 773-702-6008 or at ucpd-cru@uchicago.edu. You can also follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/UCPDCRU. We also implement COPS training, community-oriented policing and problem-solving training. This is a policing strategy that the University of Chicago follows. COPS promotes community, government, and police partnerships and proactive problem-solving to help reduce crime and build a safer community. The University of Chicago police officers are trained on the COPS philosophies, and members of the community are also invited to attend COPS training that is periodically offered by the department. There's also an online community-oriented policing course available at any time at www.copstrainingportal.org. The University Police Department offers a self-defense class. The UC RAD self-defense program teaches women realistic tactics and techniques including awareness, prevention, risk reduction, and avoidance. It progresses through a basic hands-on self-defense training program. This course is taught by certified instructors and provides participants with a reference manual that outlines the entire physical defense program. The RAD system, or the Rape Aggression Defense System, is taught at many colleges and universities. The growing widespread acceptance of this system is primarily due to the ease and effectiveness of the tactics, solid research, legal defensibility, and unique teaching methodology. For more information to enroll in a class, visit www.safety-security.uchicago.edu/services/self-defense_class. The University Police Department provides a free fingerprinting service. This is available to all members of the university community. In addition to personal safety, having your fingerprints taken by a law enforcement agency could assist in background investigations to receive clearance for work permits or temporary visas. Anyone interested in this service is asked to make an appointment by calling 773-702-6008. As a reminder, if you have any questions or comments regarding this presentation or Community Relations Unit information, please contact us at 773-702-6008 or at cops@uchicago.edu. Thank you.
All right. What I'd like to do at this time, if anyone has any questions, or if there was something that you saw that you didn't get the information, just let me know and I'll make sure that you get that information to you promptly. Terrell, if you want to ask questions, you can do that at this time. You're on mute, Terrell. You're on mute.
I'm going to find chat room again. Would like updates on paintballs hurled at pedestrians as well as plans for Halloween.
Basically, in reference to the paintball situation, that's something that's been going basically citywide. Right at this point, we're discussing our strategies as in terms of dealing with it. And also, we're in the process of creating our plans for Halloween, because as everybody know, instead of the big events that was last year, there's not going to be any events. So we're in the process of reformulating our plans, and also in speaking with CPD, they're in the process of reformulating their plans also. Once we get that information together, then we will basically go from there.
That question was from Freddie. Here's one from Stephanie. Would like a discussion of the Hyde Park Kenwood Community Conference Whistle Stop Program.
Okay, I don't have any information on that, but what I can do is I can get that information, and then I can report back.
Ellie Hall has a question.
Okay.
About cops. Please tell us more about the proactive problem solving. This sounds like something that other police departments could use.
Yeah, a lot of police departments in the country are basically doing it. What it is basically, instead of the police trying to problem solve, you're working totally with the community. Everybody's working together to solve the problems. It's not a situation in which, just the police per se are trying to, to do things. Like, I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, you had an area in which maybe you had people in an abandoned lot with a overhead light, and they bust out the overhead light, and then they're causing problems in that lot. Well, under cops, what you would do is you would work with, number one, the person who owned the lot. Number two, like if that light is a city light, you would work with the city. So what you were basically doing, you're working with other entities to fix the problem, i.e. that you might put something over the light so it's not broken again, keeping the lot, clean, and then us doing patrols to, making sure that things are, basically okay in that area. So it's just collaborative efforts of everybody working together, as opposed to just one entity trying to solve that problem.
Kathy Huff asks, if you know, why did U Chicago designate the entire campus, including Maryland, by Mitchell, DeKalb, and New CCD Hospital, and Kimbark Avenue by Judd and Ida Notes as a restricted zone blocking e-scooters?
I wouldn't have that information, but if you could, Terrell, like at the end, for those questions that I couldn't answer, if you would send me a list, I can go and try to get that information for them, but I wouldn't have that information.
And then with that, we can get those answers. You can send them to Michelle or myself, and we'll get them in a newsletter.
Okay.
Kathy Williams asked, are personnel vetted for attitudes towards a diverse community?
Yes, we are. Actually, we're in a program now. It's called Bias Sync. And it's something that each of the officers, including myself and the chief, that we're taking in reference to situations with bias, situations with attitudes, that sort of thing. But we get a new segment each and every month, as in terms of a different topic, i.e., dealing with, different individuals, being able to network, that sort of thing. But yes, our officers, we are in an ongoing program, and the program is called Bias Sync.
Somebody asks, are RAD classes happening during COVID?
It's funny that you mentioned that, because right now I'm in the process of trying to create a way that there's a possibility of doing it virtual. But in the colleges that I've talked to, they basically kind of said that, the virtual thing really didn't go over well, but I'm still researching that, and I can have an answer for you later on in reference to that.
Anna Drain asks, which of the programs offered are available to the community rather than just the university?
And which program are you referring to?
Several of the programs that you mentioned, say for safety walking, battery, those types of things.
Those programs, if you're in the university in our extended patrol area, or if you're on the university campus, that would apply.
And with that, are there the patrol areas? Are all of the patrol areas have the that white column for safety?
Basically, those white columns are more or less located on campus, on and around campus, but for the most part, yeah, those are on campus.
So campus and campus properties.
Correct.
Tamika asks, any plans for the UCPD to expand their patrol area further south than 64th Street?
No, sir, not at this time.
Kathy also asks, carjackings are reported citywide. What is happening in Hyde Park regarding carjacking and/or prevention?
Basically, what we're doing is we're increasing our patrols, getting the, I'll tell anyone, basically when you're dealing with crime, it's situational awareness, as in terms of being aware of your surroundings. If something just doesn't feel right, you just, just always being mindful. But with that being said, we've upped our patrols in reference to that, and just trying to get the information out to the general public, as in terms of just being aware of your surroundings. Just that's the key, is just your situational awareness. Not being in a position that you're not paying attention. Like, you might have your car door open and your head down. You should always be in a position that you got an idea of what's going on around you, basically at all times.
And then the UC Police Department cops themselves, are they also part of the Chicago Police Department, or are they separate?
We're a separate entity. Basically, we're sworn under the city ordinance of the Chicago Police Department, but we're two separate entities.
And are there people who are both?
There was a time in which they had some, but they've kind of, as time went on, they've kind of faded out. So for the most part, we're either, all UCPD, or, we don't have any CPD dual certifications.
Freddie Smith asked, safety tips for walking in neighborhood would be helpful.
Sure. And it all goes back. Always be aware of your surroundings. If you're walking down the street, and this is something that I've always told people, and sometimes I get a little chuckle, is that it's something that I call your spidey senses. If something just doesn't feel right, always rely on your instincts. If you think for a moment that something's not right, you can take evasive action, i.e. crossing the street, or just always making sure when you're walking on a city street, you walk with your head up high and your shoulders back. It kind of goes back to the old, who remembers the old Mutual of Omaha Animal Kingdom? Who remember that? Okay. Basically what that is that, for the most part, when you have a predator, just the same, what they do is they look for the weakest link. So, if there's one person that's walking with their head down, not looking up, not being aware as in terms of what's going on, as opposed to that person walking, and if they see that, a situation, someone's coming near them, you look that person in the eye, let them know that, yes, I see you, as opposed to looking down and looking away. But basically, you have something which is called the tripod of crime. And you have your victim, you have your assailant, and then you have the opportunity. If you remove any of those three pieces, there is no crime. So what we work to do is removing that opportunity, not placing yourself in a situation that someone can, capitalize on that opportunity of you not being aware, or, you're not paying attention to your surroundings. Something that I tell people, like when you go to Walmart, when you're walking towards your car, look, when you're at the distance from your car, just look under your wheels and, to see if there's somebody down there, or something else. I always tell people, when you get to your car, no matter where you are, always look in your back seat first, making sure that, there's no one in your back seat, before you put your keys into your car. You always want to be in a situation that you're always observant and just being mindful, as in terms of what if a situation was to occur, what evasive actions that I would take. Like, for example, if you were walking towards your car and you saw maybe somebody down by your car, you would just, you would turn around, go back and, summon help. always having your keys in your car, in your hand, as when you walk to your car, you know, you're putting your keys in, opening the door and getting in, as opposed to getting to the car, then going into your purse, then you're fumbling around. At that point, you're not aware of what's going on. So, you know, you're giving that individual or individuals an opportunity, you know, so it's always just being aware of your surroundings, being mindful as in terms of where you walk. If there's an area in which you're walking, you see high shrubbery, and it's, you know, in the evening or at night, you know, those types of things you want to avoid. You're looking for risk reduction, risk avoidance strategies. And that's basically, you know, what you're doing.
Kathy Williams has another question.
Mm-hmm.
Pedestrians are being accosted and having their personal effects taken. Are there continuous sweeps of the UCPD patrol area?
Yes, sir. That's something that we work on daily, as in terms of, like, we have something that we do every week. It's called ComStat. And just to give you a little bit of history of ComStat, ComStat was started back in the 80s. It was by a gentleman by the name of Jack Maple. He worked for the New York City Transit Police. And ComStat at its purest form, what was happening was they were having problems in the subways. And what they would do is take a pin and they would put on the areas of the maps, which they later called hotspots. So in essence, criminals are, they're creatures of habit. For example, if a criminal knows that on Fridays at 3 o'clock, if there's a certain area that they know that they can capitalize, they will continue to do that until there's something that, excuse me, there's something that you do to reduce that opportunity for them to do it. And basically what ComStat does is we examine our hotspots and then we put officers in those areas during certain times so that, you know, we can mitigate as in terms of the possibility of crimes happening in those locations.
As a sidebar, I get the crime alert every day, and I'm often amused and amazed at the number of UChicago students who are older, I mean like young adults, who are out on the streets at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and then get accosted or carjacked or whatever. Do they get any kind of information about how to protect themselves?
Yeah, yes, they do. But as we all remember, when we were kids, we felt invincible. So that the mindset, well, it won't happen to me or it can't happen to me. And yes, we put that information out to the students all the time. But sometimes students will listen to it and sometimes they won't.
As an older adult, even when I take my little dog out at 9:30 at night, I'm still very cautious and conscious of what's around me.
Exactly. That's the whole concept of risk avoidance, risk reduction. You always being aware of what's going on in your surrounding, you know, as you're walking.
Susan Alito has a question. It's interesting that the state is holding a town hall on safety for all at just this time. It's being recorded and might be interesting follow-up for us. And if we find out that, I'll post the where it's being broadcast. Is UCPD aware of and involved with this town hall?
To my knowledge, we are not, but I can follow up on that to check to see if we are. But to my knowledge, we are not.
Does anyone else have questions that you want to say over the platform?
I have a question. I put it on chat, but I don't know how to send it. Apparently it didn't get sent.
Oh, well, ask your question.
Well, how do you send it?
You could just hit enter, Joe.
Oh,
No. You still have it up on your screen?
yes.
Well, go ahead and ask your question.
Go ahead and ask it.
Does the university have any minimal standards for lights or reflectors for student-owned bicycles?
Mm-hmm.
Because you see a fantastic percentage of bicycles who have no usable reflectors, no lights at all. And if I frankly find it appalling. You know, it makes driving more hazardous. And that's aside from the stupid things some students do, like cut across from you going through an intersection diagonally from the right side of your car as you're making a right turn with giving signals. I've had that happen. And I'm sure they're students because they look just about the right age and drive with total disregard for stop signs or any rules whatsoever.
My suggestion in those types of situations, if you would, and I say this to everyone, if you see something and you just don't think it's right, give us a call. I would rather us come out 100 times and it be nothing as opposed to that one time it could be possible, a possible situation.
I don't think that's feasible. One is I don't use a phone when I'm driving in the car. And two, if I'm going one way and the bicycle is going the other, they'll be nowhere near me. So what good would it do? And since this happens so frequently, I'm not going to get involved. I mean, does the university check every student bicycle to see that they're properly licensed, have lights and reflectors? I bet not. They have no standards whatsoever, my guess is.
I can check on that, but I don't know if we do or not, but I can check on that and I can get back with you, Joe, on that and get you a definitive answer.
I would appreciate it. It seems like a lot of us standards.
Yes, sir.
And then I have a question related to special vetting for, for mental health. Are the hires and also police already on staff given training regarding mental health crises and how to de-escalate and help provide support?
Yes, we are. Most of our officers are trained in something it's called CIT. It basically teaches us in reference to dealing with mental health issues, how to de-escalate a situation. But yes, probably 95% of our department has that training. And each time new officers come, we get them trained with that. But yes, we are trained in that.
There's one question which I'm going to not necessarily put him on the hot spot, but it has to do with the whistle stop program. Gary Oswald, do you have any comments and or might you have some information you could send me and I'll put up on in a newsletter?
I don't have any information in reference.
No, it's for Gary Oswald.
Stephanie Franklin is the person who has most of the information. She's there, but we have some those resources are up in our website hydepark.org, and I will check and see that whatever else Stephanie and the others have for it can be put up. There is in the website already a good information and pictures and things on how to use them under about committees, whistle stop, and safety. If you go into hydepark.org.
I know back in the day.
Stephanie, do you have anything to add? The thing is people say that if you have your cell phone, why do you need a whistle? But what if they take your cell phone or its battery is low or something? Also, as a second way of getting people's attention, because other people around there now are aware that there is a problem. The thing is, we have to get the word out about it. There are several places where you can buy stores. There are stores, and I think the Hyde Park Bank also, where you can get these whistles, and we're working on getting more places where you can get them free or buy them, because the stores buy them from us and currently. The policy may change, but individuals, you can get them from stores, I think, like Toys, etc. One is one of them. There are other places around where you can do that, but we're working on building that up and expanding it.
2 questions related to mental health. One is from Mary Nafsker. How are the mental health trained officers deployed? Do they just wait to be called, or are they sent out on patrol?
They're sent out on patrol, and then what we ask is that, say if a person needs a mental health trained officer, then you would tell the dispatcher that, and then we would make sure that we sent one of our CIT trained officers to that location.
And then the second one is from Susan Alito. On the mental health issue, does UCPD work with the trauma center and their victim follow-up program?
What we basically do is that, if there's a situation or mental health issue, of course, it's documented in the report, and then it's a situation in which that if those individuals over at the hospital, if they need that information, we get that information to them in reference to that.
And there's one comment related to cyclists and appropriate lighting from Jamie Reft. The city requires cyclists to have lights at night. However, I doubt that this is regularly enforced.
Just to let you know, I will get with the Deputy Chief of Patrol, and I will give this information to him in reference to your concerns.
Other questions?
Yes. I'd like to go back. I had not realized my microphone was muted. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes. I'd like to go back to the Whistle Stop program. I have a letter that explains it that I can send if I have an address. And also I'm happy to talk to anybody about it. We are looking for more volunteers to join the Whistle Stop committee to help get the word out for people who don't know the program. The conference developed this program in 1972, and basically it consists of everybody having a safety whistle that especially if when somebody is victimized and their cell phone is stolen, they can't call for help any immediate way. If they have a whistle, they can signal for help, and that's the point of the program. You carry your whistle with you at all times, preferably on your key ring. You have it in your pocket. When you get your keys out to enter your car or your house or wherever, you have your whistle in your hand. If something happens, you get yourself, of course, to safety. You blow the whistle, other people hear the whistle, they respond, and they come to your aid, and the police respond because they hear the whistle also, and they can track down the location and get there sooner. And it has worked in the past. It works now. People simply have to know about the program and have a whistle. And Susan, I see you have a question.
Well, I would just like to, I'm a great fan of the Whistle Stop program, and I have my own whistle and I've given them to a number of people. And I think in the future, we might consider putting them in giving them to every incoming student so that they know about it. I do wonder though sometimes whether this could have negative repercussions. If you blow your whistle, could this make your attacker angry, and could it have them,
What happens is when other people respond and hear a whistle and they start converging on the location, every time this has happened, the perp has gotten scared and run, because a lot of people converging on the location is definitely not what they want. So it's never been a case that I know of where somebody who blowing a whistle was in turn attacked. Because of course, if it's you and you get attacked, you get yourself to safety first, hopefully by scaring off the perpetrator, and then you blow your whistle. But you blow your whistle as the perpetrator is running away. This would enable somebody else who's coming toward you to see them, to help make an identity. It might enable somebody to get a license number if the perpetrator gets into a car. It has all sorts of benefits in that it's immediate, especially, as I say, if your cell phone is stolen and you have to go find someplace to get help from. It really, really works, but it depends entirely on everybody knowing it.
Yeah.
And the university used to distribute whistles to incoming students, which is an excellent idea. I don't know why they are no longer doing it, but I hope the reactivated committee can help them do that, because it's extremely important, especially for students who may come from other towns where street safety is not necessarily a top priority. In this community, unfortunately, it is. Now, if we succeed in this and you never have to use your whistle, that's the best of all possible worlds. But you might at some time, and hopefully you have one and you can blow it. Right now, you can get a whistle by contacting me or the conference. And we are supplying some of the stores that were on the list. Toys, etc. will have whistles shortly. The produce store, I hope, will have whistles shortly. And there will be another number of other places around the community. The Southeast Chicago Commission office has them now. The Chamber of Commerce did have them, but their office is closed because of COVID. So that's one of the things that dips into the resource. But you can always contact me and I can get you a whistle immediately or very soon.
May I piggyback on Stephanie?
I'm sorry?
I'm asking if I can piggyback on you.
Oh, absolutely.
This is Jenny. I got my first whistle. This is for the information of our guest. I got my first whistle from the community liaison officer during orientation when I went to work at the University of Chicago. That was 13 years ago. And so it seems to me that there are ways that we can cooperate with UCPD to make sure that other people can get involved. For instance, frequent callers might be ones that the police offer a whistle to as well. Just so, and help us advertise it in the community. I've used mine only once. I was walking up my alley. I put it in my mouth because somebody was coming up close to me from behind, and he smiled and laughed when he saw I had it in my mouth. I think he knew what it was and went on his way. He was not of danger to me, but I couldn't see him until then.
Tamika has a question.
Yes, I have a question about, do you still take special attention reports? I know years ago, I used to work for UCPD and I used to write up special attentions, like if there was a problem area or a park or just, and then they would put down the times and there would be more patrols at that special attention. Do you still do those?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
So we could just call up and tell the coroner, give the time, location, what the problem is, and you'll just follow up.
If you would, could you send that to our community relations office?
No, I don't have any place in mind. I don't have an issue now, but I didn't know if you still did that. I was just curious.
Yeah, we still do it. You know, my suggestion would be if you could send that to our crew office, to our crew email, and then we would take that information and then I would disseminate that to patrol.
Okay, thank you.
Can you give us that address, please?
Let me pull it out for you. Let me get it for you.
Well, why don't you send it to us and we can distribute it to everybody that we can send it out after this call.
Okay. Also, what I'll do is, Terrell, I'll send. Well, you have my email, and if somebody
Yes.
wants to contact me directly, they can do that also. I don't have a problem with that. And just to let you know, I monitor my email 24/7.
Kathy has another question. Is there any way to learn the UCPD hotspots?
We do have our ComStat meet right now. Everything is being done virtual, and what I can do is share that information to my superiors, and then we can kind of go from there. And I can get that information to you, Terrell.
Okay, great. Stephanie Franklin,
Yes.
what is your email address?
Steph Links 5453 at gmail.com. It's
Steph, EP,
STEPHLINKS.
5453 at gmail.com.
Right.
And everyone know that this is being recorded, so you can listen yet again, and it will be available as a link on our website at Hyde Park Village.
I have another question.
Okay, Mary? Oh, Stephanie.
It has to do with the security phone that we had in Nichols Park. We had one of the older phones and it was removed. And I'd like to know how we can get one of the newer phones back in that location, because it was an excellent spot for, especially for students walking through the park as they often do to get back and forth from campus.
I can check on that, and then I can get that information to Terrell, as in terms of the status on that, and kind of get some background on that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is UCPD?
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is Gary. I have a question and sort of an announcement that some people have been worried about safety issues with regard to the e-scooters and things too. The conference is going to be having a virtual forum on it on the 29th at 7 o'clock. Publicity and registration have not gone out yet, but the blast will go out and it will be available when it's ready on the hydepark.org website. And we really want to hear the experiences, not only of the users, but people as they whiz by you or go where they're not supposed to, or good experiences and feelings from it too. And we're the three operators of the system, three companies will be there on it, and there will be other groups from the community being there also, listening in to get your feedback, including the ward offices and the university. So we hope people will pay attention and look at that, because that's something new, and there are always new things, and we've got to evaluate them, make sure they work for everybody.
So I have three more questions. I think these last three and two comments will be it. Unless you all want to stay on. Is UCPD still reporting racial ethnic info for all stops to state of Illinois? If so, what are the numbers compared to the other local population?
Yes, we are reporting those numbers, but I don't have those numbers readily available, but I can get them and get them to you, Terrell.
How does our crime rate in Hyde Park, are we higher than other areas or lower or what?
Actually, we're lower. We're lower than in other areas. Yes, we are lower.
Have all the white boxes been removed from East Hyde Park?
The white boxes.
You know, your
those emergency phones?
Yes.
That's something too I'd have to check up on and report back.
And are there any plans for additional communication with the community about Halloween security plans?
I'm pretty sure that we should be putting something out in reference to our holiday security plans. Yeah.
Okay, one announcement. You heard on the news that the Supreme Court is ending, well, that can end the census report, census gathering on the 15th of October. It's imperative that each and every one respond. It does affect our local community, the city, county, and state of Illinois. We can all be impacted negatively. And then 2 comments. Terrific program, filling in important information need for village members and friends. Thank you. And then also, thanks so much for a very informative program. So thank you, Deputy Chief.
I just want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity. And I look forward to working more closely with you, Terrell, in the reference to for safety and security for the area.
And who knows, we might invite you back again.
I'd be delighted. I'd be delighted.
Keep on keeping on.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.